Well, greetings, this is Gilles Mention. I thought I'd come back today because I forgot to read a little note. I made a little note. I've been through my videos. Sometimes I criticize some things within the art world that are, I think is quite mediocre, that commanding this great deal of high prices, but they're not really, there's not that much soul and spirit within it. But I just wanted to say mea culpa, for everything is acceptable. Everything is part of the process. And just the fact that people are creative, even if what they're doing is not magnificent, is still an effort of creativity. What I feel as an art dealer, an art historian, or a curator, very soon returning to my first profession, which was a gallerist, I will seek to go into things that are interdimensional, that are soft, that are bringing something new to the picture of art history, not to repeat the old. For a lot of things, it's been repeating and repeating and repeating. But in a sense, even those who choose to collect the portraits of dictators, to collect art that is about racism, the part about violence, or blood everywhere, or that killed animal that have been stuffed, or all those skulls that are very popular, or the darker aspect is very it's completely acceptable for those who like that. So I didn't mean to be critical of all this darker, the death culture that is expressed through the art. But as an example, there is certain things, for me it's just a matter of vibration, what we vibrate with. I had a friend, collectors that I knew when I lived in New York City, something that, so just to say that some shows, some things will make you feel very good to one person, that will feel other person feel really bad. And so it is just a matter of understanding that it's all a process, and everybody find what they need within each show, each experience. And so there is no and so his experience was, the experience was in his bedroom. He had this big photo of a Tampax full of blood, and it was an art piece from Judy Chicago, I think. And for me, it's like to wake up in the morning with this image in front of my eye. It was completely insane. But for him, he liked that. So if he liked that, so fine, it's like. But certain things is like we have to be tolerant of each and everyone's sensibility. For we all very, very different, and so there is a need for this death culture maybe to die, for the Renaissance to be reborn through the arts. So I didn't mean to be critical. Sometimes I felt I was a bit too critical about all those art that I feel is like, sometimes it's not even art, it's just decorative objects that are called art, because Marcel Duchamp said anything you call art will become art. But in a sense, there are certain things that are just objects that decorate decorative paintings, and there is art that will last, that will continue to mystify the mind of humanity for a long time. And so there is like the modern artist, or the Renaissance artist. So there's certain things we never get tired of, and certain things, once we've seen it, it's done. We've seen it. It's like fine. It's fun to see it, but it's just a matter of preferences, and of course, there is no right or wrong within life. It's all part of the one. This painting here I really like it. It's depending on the light that's coming on it. Also, it will change and shift, because when you use gold and silver and copper in paintings, at different times of the day or different lighting, they will completely change, because those metallic colors will. So it's kind of interesting. I've always used that. My stepfather was a unique painting with uniquely gold, silver, and copper. So I learned that from him a long time ago. And so this painting is about the super universe. And so there's the central sphere, which is called Uversa, the spiritual university, the 10 major sectors of our super universe. We live in the 5th major sector, in the third minor sector, and so our universe is some local universe is somewhere here. And so it is, this one's really really spectacular. I really like it. And this little painting here is called Mushaba. Mushaba are groups of beings that are in service from the invisible world, and in this painting, it's symbolic of them. It represents the Trinity. There is 3 circles. It's very unusual, this format of paintings for me. And it says, I am wisdom, I am unity, I am love, I am joy, I am grace, I am ease, I am hope, I am bliss, I am truth, I am beauty, I am goodness, and I am happiness. So it's about a reminder with what our true essence is, and it's just signed in the back, as you know. Sometimes the back of the paintings are very interesting. I feel like sometimes in the catalogs I may have to print the back of the paintings, because sometimes it is useful to do that. I'm going to pull a few cards and sing a song just to finish that part from the Akash. So the highest wisdom for us today imprisonment and slavery. For we want to be free. We want to be free from all this old conditioning and to regain our power, to regain our sovereignty. And so the door has always been open, the door of freedom. Truth shall set us free. It's about addressing our inner self. What we need to understand is the monk or the nun. It's about keeping our energy together, the time that we can gather all our strength and energy, and then from there we'll be able to find the freedom and we'll be able to re-enjoy all the programs of the earth. For me, this is really what I need to do, to be in control, to keep my energy together. That doesn't mean that I cannot experience it's just a temporary state. What we need to do is health. We focus on our health, the well-being of our physical body, for it is the vessel that carries us through life. And so now, when we lived in the Kali Yuga, in the darkness, it was okay to use all kinds of things that were less than of the highest health potential. But now we want to cleanse up our physical body so we can integrate more energy, because the more pure our physical body is, the more the divine energy and the cosmic energies and the spiritual energies will be able to be channeled through us. And the outcome is forgiveness, for no blame, no shame, and no regrets. We want to use forgiveness, forgive ourselves for whatever mistakes we've done, and forgive others, put them in the circle of light, and let them be within the light, and forgive them, forgive the world, forgive for I was watching the other day. I was sitting at a coffee with a friend of mine, an English friend, and there was this whole cortege of people that was like yelling those violent things, like revolution in France. There was all this like social people are feeling bad about the situation, this collective oligarchy that's been serving themselves and disregarding the quality of life of the people. But then again, it's like the means by which they were doing it. There were all kinds of professional people within the cortege, and they were like moving through, and there were some people that were destroying the shops, destroying the banks, destroying the lights, destroying everything, and everybody was like, bravo, let's destroy. And for me, it's like I felt really uncomfortable with this thing of feeling that to think that destroying what other people have created will bring us satisfaction in some ways, or will bring social justice or fairness. This is really not the means by which, but I send love and light and violet fire to all those people, for I understand they're all suffering. Otherwise, every form of violence, every form of aggression, every form of is because there is an internal suffering. If people didn't suffer, they would not be doing that. So it's about, but in a sense, they have to be taught that accept the fact that they have to resolve that inner conflict within themselves in order to find the peace and serenity, because sometimes they refuse to address that inner process, and so by refusing to do that, they are looking for scapegoats on the outside world. Say, well, it is your fault. It is, so they're putting the blame and the shame on other people. That doesn't mean that the society doesn't need to be reformed. I'm not saying that, but in a sense, I do not feel that. So it's about forgiveness, forgiving the oligarchy for creating this dark matrix, forgiving all those people that are violent in the streets for expressing their violence in the street. And forgiving ourselves for even having a judgment on that. So I hope you find this message interesting. For once we let go of slavery, for this card maybe of the highest wisdom was about the slavery and imprisonment. For it is always in our mind, in truth. And so once we free our mind, we'll be able to free our situation, and we will find the art, and understanding the art, which is the path of grace, the path of ease, the path of alignment with our soul and spirit. And so I'm going to finish with a little song. It's a song about Paris. It's a funny song about Paris, an older song. It's about how Paris awakening, and at the end they say, well, everybody's waking. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Guy just comes out of a club because it's a night. And then everybody's like starting to work, and he's like he wants to, but he's not sleepy. So it's like it goes like this. Je suis le dauphin de la place Dauphine et la place Blanche à mauvaise mine. Les camions sont pleins de lait, les balayeurs sont pleins de balais. Il est 5 heures, Paris s'éveille, Paris s'éveille. Les travestis vont se raser, les stripteaseuses sont rhabillées. Les traversins sont écrasés, les amoureux sont fatigués. Il est 5 heures, Paris s'éveille, Paris s'éveille. Le café dans les tasses, les cafés nettoient leurs glaces. Et sur le boulevard Montparnasse, la gare n'est plus qu'une carcasse. Il est 5 heures. Paris s'éveille. Paris s'éveille. Les banlieusards sont dans les gares, à la Villette on tranche le lard. Paris by night regagne l'écart, les boulangers font des bâtards. Il est 5 heures. Paris s'éveille. Paris s'éveille. La tour Eiffel a froid aux pieds, l'Arc de Triomphe est ranimé. Et l'obélisque est bien dressé entre la nuit et la journée. Il est 5 heures. Paris s'éveille. Paris s'éveille. Les journaux sont imprimés, les ouvriers sont déprimés. Les gens se lèvent, ils sont brimés, c'est l'heure où je vais me coucher. Il est 5 heures. Paris se lève. Il est 5 heures. Je n'ai pas sommeil. An interesting song from Jacques Dutronc. It's about watching we all have different perspective in life, and so it's like when people are awakening at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then there are those people who are going to bed at that time because they've been partying all night. So it's all a matter of perspective. But Paris is a beautiful town. I'm looking forward to returning to Paris, to return to my life and to all the other big capitals that I love, and maybe discovering new ones. For all of it is right around the corner for me. So I will keep you afoot, keep you updated with my own personal process. I wish you a wonderful day, a wonderful Sunday, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.